show. Is there a best diet for weight loss? We'll be discussing the best diet for weight loss and how to find what really works for you. For those of you that are unfamiliar with me, hello, my name is Dr. Kirsten Grant, and welcome to another episode of the Dr. Grant Show. Today, we'll be discussing one of the most popular questions when it comes to weight loss. Is there a best diet? We'll also be talking about how to find out what works for you so that you can finally achieve your health goals. So stay tuned. Today, I'll be covering the following 4 topics. And I'm so elated about these topics because very often I get these questions in my digital wellness practice. So here are the topics. Number 1, diet myths. Number 2, the newest scientific research published this year. Number 3, so which diet is best? And number 4, your first diet steps. I am elated to get into this episode because so often diets are something that people talk about so very often. They always want to know about which diet is best. So let's debunk some diet myths. Diet myth number one is deprivation. If a diet is talking about deprivation in terms of extreme low calorie intake, yes, it will work for a certain period of time. And I have a scientific study that we'll be delving into that talks about that. But when we're talking about the long term, something that is sustainable, and that is the foundation and one of the cornerstones of my wellness practice, sustainability, it begins to fall apart. The other diet myth I'd like to talk to you about is elimination of certain foods. Now, I have been around this industry a long time. Often I've seen things of eliminating certain color foods, all that stuff. It's not sustainable. All right. Anyway, let's go into our second topic. The newest scientific research. I'm excited about this now. Let me give you a little bit of background on this, okay? I have poured over so many articles, so many peer-reviewed scientific journals, and I've extracted really like the top 3. Okay, I think I need more caffeine, guys. Hang on. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? All right, so the top 3 articles that really came to mind to help you. Now, if you pull up diets, scientific journals, you're going to get 2,000 of them. So here are your top 3. The first journal I found was the PLOS one. The title, let me just make sure you guys can see me and hear me. Okay. The title of this was A Preliminary Investigation of Yoga as an Intervention Approach for Improving Weight Loss. So here are the details. There are 60 women that were overweight or obese in a 12-week yoga intervention. The yoga was done 2 times a week, and they compared it to cooking and nutrition classes. And they also did this after a 3-month, 12-week behaviorally based weight loss program. So what they did, they measured 8 things. They measured mindfulness, they measured distress tolerance, they measured stress, they measured self-compassion at 6 months. So drum roll, please. Here are the results. The results were attendance and program satisfaction with that program using yoga was through the roof. Also, the yoga group lost significantly more weight, actually 9 kilograms versus 6 kilograms at 6 months, which resulted in a greater level of ability to handle stress. They had greater mindfulness, and this was compared to just the nutrition-based group. So for those of you that have been wondering about yoga and if this is something that's viable to help lose weight and supplement a diet, for example, you've got a peer-reviewed journal that was published just as of this year that tells you an emphatic yes. And you see, yoga is more than just some great moves. Yoga connects with the energetic aspect of you, the physical aspect of you as well. So this is the reason why yoga is such a perfect complement to help you with weight loss. The second journal is the European Journal of Nutrition. The title of this journal, it was called Effects of Very Low Carbohydrate versus High Carbohydrate Weight Loss Diets on Psychological Health in Adults with Obesity and Type 2 Diabetes. And this study was conducted over a 2-year randomized controlled trial period. They took 115 adults that were men and women. They explored low carb diets for 2 years. The result, drumroll please, weight loss was at 9.1% after 12 months and 6.7% after 2 years, with no difference between the diet groups. Okay, so what does this tell you? It tells you that yes, you can use low carb, customize it to what works for you. Often when I talk to people in my digital wellness practice, which works with people that struggle with food addiction, food cravings, emotional eating, obesity, often they're thinking low carb means eliminating a certain color of group. That's not true. You can make low carb where it's convenient and it works for you and it's sustainable, because really that's the only way this is going to work. Find the key things that are low carb that you feel comfortable swapping and trading out. That's the key. This way you don't lose out on really feeling a feeling of deprivation. All right, anyway, let's go to our third research study. It's called the British Medical Journal, is where it was published. The title of the article is Association Between Characteristics of Behavioral Weight Loss Programs and Weight Change After the Program End. They conducted something that's called a meta-analysis. So what are the details of this? So the behavioral weight loss program, meaning they worked with your mind and installing certain habits and using psychology. They analyzed the data from 249 trials. And here's the kicker. They followed these results for 5 years. So here are the major things. And some of these things you probably will say, all right, this is kind of self-explanatory. But until we get it tested with some science here, we can all make that statement, but it's always good to kind of cuddle up a little bit and find out, someone that put some major significant dollars and financial resources towards a study actually found these things. So let me, because it's really important, okay? So let me go into some of this for you, okay? Here are the key things here that I really want to draw your attention to, because a lot of diets very often have these components as their cornerstone. First thing and component of the study that was analyzed were diets that entail and involve meal replacements. For those of you that are unfamiliar with diets that entail and involve meal replacements, it often means that you're taking some shake, for example, and using it to replace a meal or two, followed by a well-calibrated, well-balanced meal or two. So an example could be if you're on a meal replacement plan and diet, you replace your breakfast with that shake, that meal replacement shake. Or some people might replace breakfast and they have a healthy lunch, and then they replace dinner with the meal replacement shake. So overall, that's the way this works. So here's what they found in this scientific study that was published this year. The participants, they lost weight. These interventions show that partial meal replacements help people quickly lose weight. But they were also associated with faster regain in weight. So keep this in mind when you explore the idea of a meal replacement, okay? Let's go into, because this is some good stuff, and I really wanted to give you something that you can work with. Financial incentives was the other thing that this scientific study explored. So there are certain weight loss programs I've come across that often utilize financial incentives, like, oh, you lose weight and you get money, or you put your money in a pot, or it's all sorts of different structures. So this study analyzed financial incentives for weight loss. People did lose weight, of course, but they also were associated with a faster regain in weight at a rate of almost 2 pounds per year. So yes, once again, we're getting that quick buzz, that quick zing zing of gratification with a weight loss program that's based on financial incentives, but you quickly regain the weight back. I don't know about you, but that's so not what I want when we start talking about losing weight. That's, oh yeah, no, no, no. All right, so now remember, here's what's unique about this. These studies were followed for 5 years. So we got some really beefy data here, okay? So I've given you some major studies. Let me see, I'm thinking about another, let's see. Okay, so the other study that I came across also decided to just simply compare keto versus other just diets. Now, I attended a scientific forum a year or two ago that discussed this in depth. And keto is superb for losing weight. But according to the scientific study that I came across, as well as the forum that I attended, they show that in the long term, there were certain health implications with keto. And this, of course, depends upon your individual body type as well. So here's the key here, all right, which helps me dovetail into our third topic. Which diet is best for you? Here's the answer. Drum roll, please. It depends. I know, don't throw anything at the screen when I say this. It depends. The foundation of my digital wellness practice is food addiction, emotional eating, binge eating, and helping people that struggle with weight loss. But our cornerstone is sustainability. Behaviors that you can find and use for life, because we don't want the up and down. So, can we help you? Do I have experience in helping people identify a diet? I put diet, my fingers in quotation marks here, because the word diet to me has so many connotations. Can we find and craft a diet for you that will help you lose weight within a short amount of time? Yes. Any one of the things that I just cited to you, meal replacement, financial incentives, keto, they can help you lose weight in a short amount of time. There's only one slight problem with that: sustainability. That's the short amount of time thing. If you're looking to lose weight for a special occasion, I would simply say find what works for you that doesn't damage your body and does no harm. Find something that you can embrace that has the potential to be expounded upon over the long term. That's why I'm saying to you, it depends. For some people, the idea of doing keto, they're already walking out the door. For some people, the idea of going straight vegan is very appealing because maybe their eating habits were already there anyway. find the diet, the lifestyle that is already close to where you'd like to be anyway. You just need further education and perhaps a little bit more guidance. So, for example, I once was chatting with a lady that was talking about the best diet for her recently. And she wanted to try going vegan because there have been tales of famous celebrities that have lost huge amounts of weight in a short amount of time going straight vegan. And that's why she was interested in it. After more in-depth probing with some deeper questions based in psychology, we uncovered two things. Number one, she had hardly ever eaten a vegetable in her life. And number two, although the willpower and the desire was there, the idea of sticking to something so regimented automatically sent her head into a tailspin. Therefore, even though the end result of losing 20 pounds in a short amount of time was very appealing, the practical part, the implementation part, is where this plan of hers was about to fall flat. So what is my point? Find a way and a lifestyle for you that you naturally are already gravitating towards anyway. Start with it, because that will be in the long run more sustainable for you, unless, there's only one disclaimer here, unless you're under a doctor's care and your doctor has stated that you must follow explicit instructions and a specific diet regimen. In that case, never go against your doctor's care. Simply look at the list of foods that are allowed and recommended and build your eating regimen around those items within and overlapping within the new lifestyle and diet that you want. Okay, so I'm really hoping that this is making some sense for you guys. Definitely, if it's sounding a wee bit like this is resonating and making sense, feel free to send me a text or a DM at the number that's listed below, 312-601-8510, or you guys can go ahead and reach out to me on edibleaddiction.com. The final and fourth topic I'll be covering, your first diet steps. It's very simple. It's three of them, just three little steps to get started. Number one, identify the, so to speak, diet that most naturally aligns with how you eat or how you desire to eat anyway. So remember the example that I gave about the lady that wanted to go vegan that I chatted with because she saw several celebrities that lost a Herculean amount of weight in a short amount of time, but she'd never tasted a vegetable. That's too big of a gap to go from here to here. It's too big. Not saying you can't do it, but it's certainly going to take a whole heck of a lot of time in that journey and a lot of drop-offs along the way. That road's going to be bumpy with a lot of potholes on its way to the goal. However, if you pick something in the middle, like Mediterranean diet, for example, something that might involve, which has also been scientifically proven to be one of the very best approaches to sustainable weight loss, that's what you want to look at because it involves a very healthy balance of fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and oils. So the first diet step is to find out which diet works for you and is most closely aligned to and similar to what you currently eat right now. It's not so much of a huge jump. That way you won't feel like you're missing out. Number two, identify your why. Not your short-term why. Looking good in a bikini, looking good naked, getting the revenge body for whatever revenge you're trying to extract. Go deeper. Much, much, much deeper. What would your life look like once you lose the weight? How will your life change? We're not talking about wolf whistles when you walk past a construction site here for both men and women. We're talking about, how does your mobility improve? My MDs, my DOs, as you're listening to this now and on the replay, these are the key questions that you should be asking your patients when you're talking to them about their weight. Not BMI, not you should lose some weight, not eat less, move more. If you want a guide here, feel free to send me a text or drop me an email. But here are your questions that you should be asking yourself. If you're not a MD, DO, DC, got a lot of doctors that I talk to. Here are the questions you should still be asking yourself. What will losing weight do for my life? How will losing weight affect my ability to move? How will losing this weight affect my relationships and my energy levels? Who will I be able to serve more powerfully by losing weight? What opportunities, what events that I wasn't able to participate in previously will I be able to participate in once I lose weight? Finally, how would losing weight allow me to show up in my career? You see, these are the springboard questions that allow your mind to begin to fill in the holes and the pieces of the puzzle. These are the questions that help shift the narrative from the number on the scale and the dress size to what weight loss really accomplishes. Not the swimsuit competition, not the looking good naked, but the bigger goal, the bigger piece of the puzzle. And that's what is going to compel you when times get rough. A parent being there for their children for longer. Able to maybe run and play basketball or football with their kids or soccer. Not being so tuckered out after walking up just a couple of flights of stairs. You get what I mean? Ask yourself these questions. Doctors, my MDs, my DOs, my DCs, ask your patients these questions to unlock the motivation that you want them to embody and to have. All right. The third and final step is the Quickie audit. Take a look in your kitchen cupboard and in your refrigerator and see, what do you currently have right now that meshes with your new diet and new you. Make sure to be on the lookout for the top 2 chemical saboteurs that have been shown in clinical studies to actually, for those people that are vulnerable to the effects of food addiction and binge eating, cause you to overeat and binge and thus gain weight. To know what these 2 chemical saboteurs are, definitely feel free to send me a text or you can shoot me over an email by going to edibleaddiction.com. Those are your first 3 diet steps that will help you get on the path to your best diet loss. And what will happen, excuse me, and what will happen for you as you go about these steps and take is that you'll uncover a richer tapestry and more compelling reason to move forward and sustain your efforts to be healthier. And you get the benefits of being healthier. All right. Now, if what I described to you sounds great, but maybe you like a little bit of help with this, I completely understand. This is what I've dedicated my life to. This is what I do all day, every day. I lost my mother to food addiction, obesity, and emotional eating, for those of you that are unfamiliar. And this is the reason why I started my digital wellness practice. I wanted something where there were no limits. I share and work with people based on their individual conversations. The only formula that we successfully implement is the formula of your story and your experiences, and changing that into a way better story and outcome. We tap into what your personal desires are, your true personal desires, and we help you get there faster using psychology, sound therapy, fitness, food. And this ensures that you're not just simply spinning your wheels here. Nothing worse than spinning your wheels when you're trying to find your best diet, lose weight. How many of us have tried that? I mean, feel free to type in the chat. How many of us have tried that, where we are trying this diet over here, that diet over there? We lose the weight, we do the workout, we lose the weight, and unfortunately, the weight comes back with a vengeance. Now, I just shared with you earlier in the program scientific evidence that shows that some of our top defaults and go-tos, such as meal replacement, financial incentives, well, unfortunately, they don't always work, not in the long term. In my wellness practice, we work on focusing on the long term for you. And then that way, because you've unlocked the psychology behind everything, you now also get the tools that you need when you're facing adversity to use right then and right there. This is about more than losing weight and calories in, calories out. This is about finding your true why and creating and crafting a different story to make a better journey so that you can get healthier, easier, custom tailored just to you, based on you. No games, no crazy diets. Let's find what works for you and create a new story. You're the architect of your life. You just need the right bricks, mortars, tools, and blueprints. All right. For those of you that would be interested in a more in-depth conversation or working with me, my contact information is listed below. You could feel free to send out a direct message to me at this number below, 312-601-8510, or reach out to us on edibleaddiction.com. We are available for speaking engagements, masterclass workshops, also one-on-one mentorship. We've gotten so much done with our clients, even in as little as just 12 weeks. All right, guys, thank you so much. Much love to you. The Dr. Grant Show is on Wednesdays and Saturdays. New episodes always. Feel free to join us, and some friends, some special guests we'll be bringing on. Bye.